Folks, we are here at the Battle of the All-Stars for the Kentucky versus Saskatchewan bout. This is game number 33. I can't believe we've been through 33 games already this weekend. I'm Mo Chismo.
I'm Death Nella, and we are very excited to be here for this final bout for both of these teams.
Right.
It is also, though, the first 60-minute bout of Battle of the All-Stars.
That's good. That's very true. Yeah, we have a full 60 minutes to go here, and we will we'll be taking a full break between these halves. I'm your ersatz Mr. Kentucky here right now.
And I'll be representing for Saskatchewan. And why don't we go through the rosters real quick here?
Go ahead, yeah.
All right, so for Saskatchewan, we have number 1-5, Scott Free, number 8-5, Abolisher, number 3-5-5, Block Nest Monster, number 3-3, Nikki Fury, number 2-0-1, that's Curb Stompin' Colshaw, number 6, Makilia, number 5-1-9, Melcree, number 4-0, Nemesis, 2-1, Pterodactyl, number 4-5-4, Holly Double Thumper, number 476, Bellicose Blonde. Number 69, Terralizer. And your bench coach, Rocket Richard.
Over on Kentucky, you have number 8, Silver Rose. Number 11, Sam. 12 is Soda Pop Ruckus. 13, Rocky Floor. 18, Scrappy Sue. 19, Michonne Unslayable. 22, Rexy Dangerfield. 34 is Pinky Bruiser. Number 40 is Carrie A. Glock. Number 80, Barbara Fett. Number 85, Bunny. 149, Bambi Thumper. 201, Generator. 241, Never Shake a Baby. 388 is Slamus Aaron. 413, Genferno. They are coached by Gory Details and Morphine. And look at that, I did it in time. Wasn't sure I would make it to the end.
Very impressive. Now, Mo Chismo, you are the voice of Kentucky here, but you're normally the voice of New York.
New York, that's right. I announced for the Gotham girls at most of their home games. And I'm thrilled to be here at Battle of the All-Stars. This is 3 years running for me now.
And on the line for Saskatchewan, Curb Stompin' Colshaw. She's our starter jammer for all the bouts, and she gets lead to start off this final bout for Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan in green, obviously. Kentucky in black.
The pack speeding up real quick here. This works to Curb's advantage, but does get knocked down by one of the blockers.
That's Rocky for Kentucky.
And we start the game with 1 point for Team Saskatchewan.
All right, putting one up on the board. Both these teams looking for a win going home this weekend.
And it will be their first, then.
That's correct.
Of the tournament. I mean, one of the biggest things for Team Saskatchewan, which is Canada's first entry into Battle of the All-Stars, is just the learning and growing experience that they've already had these their last 4 games before this one.
Yep. That's great. Yeah, it's one of the greatest things about this tournament, the mixing and melding of all sorts of levels of play and leagues who might never meet each other otherwise. All right, back to the action. Kentucky, that's 149, Bambi Thumper.
Meanwhile,
and she's your lead jammer.
Meanwhile, Block Nest Monster goes to the penalty box for a multiplayer call. Big hit on Nikki Fury there, but she gets up. Oh, and a power jam situation for Nikki Fury as a skating out of bounds call made on Kentucky.
So power jam for Sass here. Great news. They've already put up, that's their initial pass, actually.
So now it's time to hopefully score some points. Oh, she trips on her own teammate there, Melcree, but not all over. Block Nest Monster coming out of the box now.
Kind of a pile up there at the front of the pack. Fury is through, and that will be 5. And Kentucky's still looking for the way out of that pack. There we go. She swoops around the outside, and that's going to be a low block on her.
That is a hit on Terralizer there, or rather, sorry, hit from Terralizer getting that penalty.
Bambi is out of play, or too far ahead, I should say, so can no longer be blocked.
Now, of course, because we're returning to 60 minutes of gameplay here for the tournament, we will have 7 penalties allowed per skater. The only thing is, Saskatchewan did get into some trouble yesterday with those penalties, so we really have to be careful. Really allowed for a lot of scoring from the other team.
Well, 2 green jerseys on the bench right now sets a bad precedent for Saskatchewan.
And that is the Gem. 2 full minutes, of course, because of that loss of lead.
Right. And our final points will be 5 for Saskatchewan, 13 for Kentucky. That puts them on the board. 8 points for Sass, actually.
And now jamming on the line for Team Saskatchewan is number 2-1 Pterodactyl. She took a bit of a hard hit in the last bout of the day, which was the last bout of day 2 here at Battle of the All-Stars. But she's back. She's feeling good. We'll see
her
how
back
that
on the
plays
track,
out.
yeah. Oh, boy. There we go. That's number 43 out there in front.
Makilia and Scott Free trying to make some space there for Pterodactyl.
4-1-3, Jen Furno.
And Pterodactyl gets through on that initial trip through the pack.
That's an out-of-play call on Jen.
Yeah, that's a power jam situation for Pterodactyl.
2 non-lead power jams for Sass here.
And it looks like there was a star pass handed off there to Makilia. And that allowed for her to get through. Oh, but she gets knocked out by Kentucky there. Oh. Makilia trying to find those arms to cut through because, of course, they have to drop that out. Pterodactyl trying to create space for the newly minted jammer. Makilia is not regularly a jammer. She's really tested out this position in this tournament, and she's really come a long way because of the experience she's had here this weekend.
Great. Well, you know, being able to take that star as a pivot has become such an important skill over the last couple of years.
And we've seen a lot of successful, not so successful star passes from every different team
for sure.
Represented here.
And Kentucky running the table here. That's 9 and counting for Generator.
Makilia still going strong there. She also has been battling the tournament flu, as we like to call it.
Yeah.
And that's why, Mo, I'm sure you noticed, they actually wipe down all the benches after every single game, try to keep everything healthy and sanitary here because, of course, we're all sweating. We're all getting those germs spread around.
There's a paper I read a few years back written by a grad student. Maybe you're familiar with it, about the spreading flora amongst teammates and other teams and that sort of thing.
It's absolutely fascinating. If you
fascinating and disgusting.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're into the gross oddities of the sport, for sure. All right, curb stomping Coleshaw coming back for a second jam of the bout.
And Sass starts off in a power jam situation as Jen is in the box.
Curb taking a bit of a fall there on her knees, but up. She's still trying to get through, though. Kentucky putting up a tough defense right at the top of the pack, or the front of the pack. Looks like she is going to be able to take some advantage of this, and she does. Finding the inside line, Melkery creating that space for her there.
Well, 3 power jams in a row for Curb here. Or I should say for Sass, obviously. Curb hasn't been on all of them.
There's great energy from the team. Coach Rocket Richard saying, you know what, go ahead, keep skating, Curb. We'll see how this goes.
Jen Furno now chasing down Coleshaw. Coleshaw right up the middle.
Nice, collecting those points and skating by, doing her fancy footwork as we've been seeing all tournament long. She was our last MVP for the game yesterday.
Kentucky trying to bridge things out as long as possible, but they got to let Coleshaw go. And the 13 points they put up does signal a lead change as Sass takes the lead, and 4 points for Kentucky, they take it back. Let's see where things land here once all the points are tabulated for the jam.
All right, so we're at 32-29 for Saskatchewan. Heading into jam number 5.
17-point jam. That's over half of Team Sass's points at this point. Great jam by Coleshaw.
She's known in Saskatchewan for her style. It comes from her figure skating background, but also the number of years she learned roller derby as a junior, coming up through the ranks, now coaching the juniors in Saskatoon.
That's great. All right. Number 33, Nikki Fury for Sass.
She had a stellar performance right out of the gates in this tournament. And she's looking for a bit more this time.
Scott Free bracing this formation up in the front, holding Kentucky to account, keep them from going anywhere until the hole opens up and she's through.
And Scott Free gets sent to the penalty box. Nikki Fury, though, finding that inside line, getting recycled, though, by the pack. There is a call, though, against Kentucky for a low block.
Right, low block on their pivot. And it's deja vu here as these strong formations are really holding these jammers in place.
A no pass, no penalty there for Nikki Fury on that initial trip through the pack.
And Kentucky loses
a jammer.
Loses their jammer to the box here. I'm
so
trying to see the penalty, but I'm not seeing it.
Another power jam situation for Team Saskatchewan. Chance to flex their offensive muscle. Nikki Fury getting through, picking up 5 points.
Just a big series of jams for Sass here as they're capitalizing on these Kentucky errors. A lot of penalties flying out there.
And now Kentucky's jammer is back on the track. Looks like Saskatchewan is ready for her, though. Might face some pressure there by the Kentucky offense. And Nikki Fury, once again, a grand slam.
Yep. Sass really closing things up there. That's some great defense. Every time I've said that, the jammer's gone through, though. So.
But we know what you mean. You're actually watching it unfold, and Scott Free has really been putting the pressure on. She's just a tremendous powerhouse out there on the track. Also another great example of somebody who's not only playing the sport but promoting it in our province. She is the coach of the Gaplin Smashers, one of the coaches, and they're a fantastic junior roller derby league team, sitting 12th right now in the standings and the rankings.
Excellent.
Last year, their first year competing, they went to champs.
That's very impressive for a first-year appearance.
All right, and we have Michaelia with the first time starting with the start, not her first time jamming, though. Remember, this is a position that is not usually her wheelhouse, but a great chance for her to develop.
And Pinky Bruiser makes it through. She's your lead jammer for Kentucky.
Meanwhile, Michaelia gets hung up there on the outside track, just her toe dragging over the line, but she gets knocked out once again. She's really quick to get back in, though. We're seeing that development really play out with this skater.
Yeah, Carrie Glock with 2 big hits just put her down.
Of course, Michaelia still trying to wind her way through that initial trip through the pack, and she gets by.
Well, Pinky is working her way through the pack. She gets it and calls it, and I think it's going to be a full 9 points on those 2 passes.
All right, so we do have a lead change now. Oh, rather it's
tie game, yeah.
Kentucky, Saskatchewan, 42. It's nice to see this kind of matchup, a chance for Saskatchewan to really play to their strengths, try some new things.
Well, a tie game, yeah. At this point in the tournament, we're seeing a lot more close games, and it's really making for some exciting derby.
Well, Mo, you and I were calling for the first game of day 3, and we saw
Toledo.
an overtime. You were saying your first in 11 years.
First ever, yeah. In 11 years of doing this. Started in 2007. That's the first one I've gotten to call. Not the first one I've seen.
Yes. All right, Curb, Stom, and Colshaw pushing through, getting lead. They're doing a great job holding back the jammer, but there was a nice, successful stash there by Kentucky.
Yeah, Rocky had that off her head, and it's back on now. Working her way around. It's going to force Colshaw to call it off.
And that bumps Sask into the lead position now, 46-42.
And that does right. Sass up by 4 here. No points picked up by Kentucky on that.
Looks like Curb, Stomp, and Colshaw will take the line again, maybe wanting to, really stretch out that point gap a bit more.
Well, these ladies have to remember it's a 60-minute bout, which we're not used to this weekend, but now we're going for full games.
I am seeing a much tighter defense on Saskatchewan and a little bit of tripping, player-on-player tripping there. This Kentucky jammer, though, she's full of energy. I've seen her
it's
play
Bambi.
all tournament long. Yeah, Bambi Thumper. She is hot out the gates, and you can see it right there. Hair flying in the wind. Ooh, bit of a knock there on the officials.
Well, Sass's gambit works. Curb is through first. Bambi's trying to chase her down.
Big hit by Curb on the blocker.
I think Bambi got in there. Was it in time? Yeah, she
Yeah,
does.
wow. But Saskatchewan nets one more above.
Yeah.
Wins the jam.
3 on 4. Yep.
Yeah. There is an official review call. I wonder if it has to be that hit from Curb. Although, wow, I mean, that's also something she's known for. She gives her full on.
Yep. I believe we keep our official reviews in this game if they are approved.
Yes, it's the familiar derby rules here. All right, and of course, we want to thank all of the officials. Our very own Kerr's So Good from Saskatchewan here as an official, working long hours as the NSOs and the skating officials do.
All these officials have been working hard for the last almost 3 days at this point, and they got a long day tomorrow as well.
We were saying while the number of games decreases, the intensity certainly increases.
Right up.
Wow, we've been seeing so many penalties today. The aggressiveness, the fierceness from these skaters has just been so much fun to watch. We're also seeing a much more robust crowd out there.
Yep. And since we do have we have an actual halftime here, we'll try to get you some penalty information between these two halves. It definitely influences play if you have players in danger, if you're in danger of losing an important jammer, that sort of thing. So we'll see what we can get for you during the half.
As I said yesterday, penalties really hurt Team Saskatchewan. There have been a foul out.
I've seen a few foul outs, yeah.
So it is something to be mindful of. But of course, from 4 penalties or 5 penalties to 7, it's actually quite a big difference there.
It is. But if you're looking at penalties per time unit, it's kind of a different measure, I suppose.
Exactly, and you were explaining that the tournament has
a little formula.
A formula for
it's
that.
1 plus 1 more for every 10 minutes of the game. So our 30 minutes game had 4 penalties, 40 minutes game had 5, and of course our full games have 7. Yeah.
And let's talk about. Is our official review wrapping up here? I think it is.
Yeah, looks like the official review was sustained. Colshaw is headed to the box, and I guess that was on the block. Oh, here we are. And yes, as I said, Kentucky will retain the review, looking for a forearm call on Colshaw, who's now sitting out in the box. She's going to be there at the beginning of this jam. Power jam for Kentucky, down 5 points. Great spot for them to get it.
And this will be a great test for Saskatchewan's defense. We have Nemesis, Abolisher, Bellicose Blonde, and Scott Free on the track right now. They have to be by far some of the strongest, some of the strongest blockers Team Saskatchewan has for sure.
Well, this is a situation to bring them out there. Like, you have to worry about this power jam, and you know it from the very beginning. You know that all 30 seconds are out there on the line.
Now you want to kill that time right off the start whistle, of course. You want to try to keep that jammer in that initial trip through the pack for as long as you possibly can. To slow down, stop the bleed, as I heard many players say over the tournament.
That's Jenferno out there for Kentucky. She's going to take this power jam for the ladies in black. Not sure what I guess we're just explaining to, well, presumably to Team Sass, what the situation here is.
Or they're just having a little party out there. Who knows? No, I don't think that's it.
Refs? I doubt it.
There's just a lot of
Refs
smiles.
don't have parties.
There's a lot of smiles and laughter on the track, but that's really what roller derby is all about. You get that fierce play and then the friendship.
Yeah, for sure. And, that's one of the things that Battle of the All-Stars is all about, because, we're not playing for WFTDA rankings. This is for fun. It's to sort of get the juices flowing after the off season.
And it works out really well. Saskatchewan heading back into their season very soon.
All right, so Jenferno gets an early jump out of that pack, just what Kentucky's looking for.
So it will really come down to how Saskatchewan's able to slow the pace of the game, handle that offensive strike from all the blockers. Those Kentucky blockers, though, did a fantastic job there, right on the corner. That's where you really want to get them because you can sweep to the outside, clearing the inside track there.
Yeah, a lot more angles of attack. And Jen Furno looked like she was almost ready to call it, but it's going to decide to run the table here, keep things going.
Oh, but in the confusion, curb stomping Colshaw gets out of the box, back through that initial trip through the back. Yeah, she's fast. Yep. And that forces the call off.
Yeah. Hit it and quit it. Did she score?
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she got all the way through. I wasn't sure she got all 5 on that.
And here we see a replay of this moment. Curb coming out of the box, using the time, getting right around that Kentucky blocker there. And again, you'll see it right on the outside.
There we go. Got a replay going. Nice. Yeah.
Scooching right under the bum there.
Well, a 15-point jam for Kentucky is their biggest jam of the game. That will put them on top.
All right, back at full strength for both teams. Oh, no. Kentucky pivot in the box at the moment. Nikki Fury out with lead, but hot on her tail is Kentucky.
Yeah, really chasing her down here. She's going to call it off as the pressure gets put on by number 22, Rexy Dangerfield.
There's a time to play risky, and there's a time to maybe cool things off a little bit.
Well, in a game, that's been this close thus far, every second's going to count. 10 points, they've gone back and forth. 10 points between these teams is not much.
All right, we're just under the 15-minute mark here now in the first half of the bout.
And that doesn't mean the game is halfway over
in
this game.
For once.
Rocky floor out there for Kentucky.
McKillia out there for Saskatchewan. Oh, and it's just a big pile of skaters right now.
Yeah, we've seen a few starts like this. New York had a number of them. And it looks like Rocky is through for lead.
And when you have a pile up like that, then you get the opportunity, like Rocky just had, to just put on the gas and scooch right through.
Yeah, if you can find the hole that's being left, which isn't always possible.
Saskatchewan and Kentucky scoreless on that.
McKillia doing a great job of putting the pressure on and forcing that call kind of earlier than Rocky would have liked, that's for sure.
As I mentioned to her, I said to her, if you do a really great job jamming, you might just have to keep jamming.
Well, that's always the risk.
And blockers, people who identify themselves as blockers, sometimes have a hard time accepting that.
Well, that's 2 scoreless jams for these teams.
Ooh, we've got an intense matchup here. Curb stomping Colshaw here against Bambi Thumper. And Curb out front with the lead. That was a quick lead as well.
Yeah, that girl can skate. She's pretty agile, as well as having power. But Bambi is right behind her, and the pack is speeding up.
Flying through the track. Wow.
Colshaw on the inside avoids a big hit from number 19. That was Michonne Unslayable.
Puts up 2 points there for Saskatchewan. Hit it and quit it. We're seeing a lot of that today because of these close matchups here.
Yep.
And Saskatchewan's strength is definitely not in the speeding pack. And that's why, of course, Kentucky's going, hey, maybe this is a really good strategy here.
Good adaptive plan, absolutely. Nikki Fury and Jen Furno going up against one another.
We're seeing a lot of the same lines going out on the track. Saskatchewan's wall really proving to be quite good. Oh, but
nice hit by number 201, that's Generator.
Oh, and a cut track, a penalty assessed to Nikki Fury on that.
Well, this will be Kentucky's first power jam. Jen Furno has not cleared the pack yet, and now she has.
Yeah, she slices through the arms of Abolisher and Nemesis there.
Pack sitting there in turn 1. Some offense being played by Kentucky, trying to break things up. 2 to get by.
Abolisher
nice hit.
Ooh, Abolisher knocking her out. No pass, no penalty there.
Yep.
Yeah.
She followed her out. Scott Free gets a nice hit on her, gets a piece of her, slows her down, and the penalty is burned. Fury is back in.
It is, but she's having a bit of a slower start to get around that initial pass. Gets through the outside, though.
And she's through all the way. Going to put some pressure on Jen Furno.
Jen Furno gets knocked out. Yeah, she does collect points, though, for her efforts there.
Yeah, I think she had probably gotten all 4.
Looks like 3 from the official.
Okay,
there.
yep. All right, so 8-0. 52-68 is our current score, with Kentucky maintaining the lead. We're going to have just about 11 minutes left to play at the whistle.
And one thing for Team Saskatchewan we want to mention is their coach, Vic Vega. He's watching from home in Swift Current. And the team would like to say hi. And they really hope they're making their coach proud.
I think they are today. This has been a great weekend for this team.
We have Terralizer and Holly Double Thumper putting the pressure on Kentucky. Malcree and Blockness Monster. Seeing some great bridging work here, yeah.
Both teams participating in this bridging.
Yeah, Makilia and Blockness Monster. Oh, although it does look like a multiplayer penalty assessed to Blockness Monster. She's the pivot as well for Team Saskatchewan this jam.
Rexy ends up out in front.
Makilia still working on her initial, just causing some confusion there, making it an easy second trip through the pack there.
And Makilia sort of follows Rexy out of the pack. Speed staying pretty slow here.
Kentucky doing a good job there of really making sure that Saskatchewan can't stay together. I noticed a couple of their blockers sneaking in on the outside line there, just positioning themselves ready so that basically Saskatchewan would act as human pylons as opposed to one defensive wall.
Gotcha. The strategy of breaking up defenses like that is super important. I've seen a lot of it this weekend. It was kind of key to the victory of New York over Michigan earlier today. Michigan's defense is really strong, really tight, and New York did a great job of busting it up, and that kind of hamstrung Michigan. I keep almost saying Detroit. Hamstrung Michigan on that. And yeah, you're seeing the same thing repeated here.
And isn't that saying something? That at every level, the fundamentals and the basics always count.
Fundamentals. A lot of these teams coming together, playing maybe not for the first time, but often almost the first time, or often actually the first time. And it's all about the fundamentals. I was talking to Libralian yesterday when she was MVP, and she was talking about how important just playing on those fundamentals is for these teams.
And for Saskatchewan, just on the note of people playing for the first time, we have Gotham. You can see her little head bobbing there. She's actually out this game because she did suffer concussion in her last bout, so she's taking it easy. Everyone at home, if you are concerned, she's doing okay. She's got some great people to take care of her, but she's new to the team. Makilia, this is her first year. Pterodactyl is a skater who first strapped on a pair of skates May of last year.
That is remarkable,
so
less than a year.
Lots of fresh legs out there, and so to come through this experience, facing some incredible talent is amazing.
All right, well, Kentucky's timeout is waning here. We have 9.5 minutes left.
That is truly a fun fact. Thank you for passing that on.
And we are go. There's the whistle.
All right, Curb on the line for Team Saskatchewan. Looks like they're putting up more of a defensive play there. Trying to bust the seams.
Rocky is our Kentucky jammer.
Oh, and it looks like she's going to hop right over her own blocker's foot to get lead there.
Yeah, that was great pack awareness. Saw a big gap form on the inside line. Sass pulled back by number 11, that's Sam.
But Curb taking advantage of the wider corner there, skirting on the outside. Kentucky has been effective in stopping Curb from getting onto the inside. 1 point for Team Saskatchewan for their efforts, 5 there for Kentucky.
All right, Sass getting in there and snaking that point away. Kentucky's starting to walk away, 54-79, 80, sorry. But plenty of time left to play in this full bout.
54, 8.5 minutes remain. We have Nikki Fury.
Nikki Fury taking the line for Saskatchewan. She's got a very different style of play to Bambi Thumper, who comes running out the pack there.
Bambi Thumper now in the back, cut right through, edge to the outside.
Yeah, gets a big hit there by Bellicose Blonde and Nicole Scott Rather, Scott Free. Oh my goodness, I'm using Muggle names here. What's
Careful,
going on?
Careful. All right, and Bambi will call it. I believe she got her full complement of points coming through there. I see 5 to the sky.
So Michaelia is taking the track this time as a blocker.
So who's back there on the jam line for Sass?
Oh, we see a bit of a new face. This is her first time jamming, I believe, for the tournament. I might be wrong. There might have been one other jam. But this is Melcree taking the line. She's been one of our most fierce blockers out there. And Melcree using that power to get the lead. Way to show up there as a jammer, that's for sure.
Ride of the Melcree there. Number 11 is, of course, Sam.
Holly double thumper doing a good job blocking. Oh, and Melcree just taking the inside line. Picking up 4 points before calling it off. That was a really cool way to be, hey, you know what, I'm just going to take this jam. I'm going to do it. So Melcree, she is from Lloydminster, Saskatchewan, which is actually a border city between Alberta and Saskatchewan.
Okay.
And what that means is she is one of those skaters who loves to just do derby wherever she can possibly get to.
All right.
And she's in a really good position. She can go do some tournaments in Calgary, Edmonton, and some of the other places there in Alberta. She can also come over to the Saskatchewan side. And, of course, she lives on the Saskatchewan side, and that's why she's here
You're
representing
claiming her
our
today.
province.
That's right.
Yes.
All
Curb,
right, well,
stomp, and goal shot powering through for lead there.
it's 2 in a row here for Sass as they're trying to change the momentum. Genferno is following her out of the pack, but Coleshaw is already through.
Picks up 4 points for her efforts there. We'll see if she decides to call it off or keep going here. Looks like she's going to keep going. She has now, wow.
Well, it was worth the gamble. She's through. And I see 4 in the sky, but I think that might be 5.
And again, she gets by. She's been
the
using
inside,
that signature butt scooch, getting so low. She's relying on her defense, who's really putting up a strong wall. Scott Free getting sent to the penalty box, though.
Coleshaw slices through the middle.
Using her laterals there to stay upright.
Scrappy Sue trying to catch her as she's going through, but Coleshaw able to avoid. And this is going to be a huge jam for Sass. 4 points put up by Kentucky at this point.
She gets knocked out, dragged back. Coleshaw still has lead.
Yeah, she does, and she's not calling it, but thus far it's really worked out.
It looks like Genferno is getting caught up on Nemesis and Melcree.
Yeah, like you said, they're relying on those defenders. And it's so far it's worked.
Sorry, that's Nemesis and Michaelia, rather. Oh, now, both of those defensive lines just digging in. But Curb uses that distraction to get by. She plays the fake there, putting all the pressure to the outside and then getting up on the inside. That is a major jam for Saskatchewan. We're seeing
22-point jam for Sass. 7 points picked up by Kentucky. Sass still back by 12, but getting a lot closer.
And here we see that play once again. Just stellar, putting the pressure on and then skirting by through the outside there, pushing.
Yep, that's a great reorganization of her efforts there. That was awesome.
All right, Nikki Fury on the line there for Team Saskatchewan, getting a running start. Oh, and it's a power jam situation for Team Saskatchewan. This could be an opportunity to narrow that gap or surpass it.
Yeah, Rexy going to be sitting out 30 seconds to think about the error of her ways as Fury works her way around the back.
Meanwhile, Scott Free back on the track there for Saskatchewan, trying to open up a hole on the outside. And Nikki Fury staying in, working those toe stops, having a much more successful time than she has in the past with that.
Taking hit after hit in the front there. Great job of staying legal by Nikki Fury.
And 5 points there for Nikki Fury. Still time.
Yeah, within striking distance of the lead here for sure.
Of course, the Kentucky jammer has been released. She's out on her initial.
Came out with the star off, but at this point.
So now Saskatchewan should be sitting at 90 Or no, 89 rather,
yeah.
of course. She picked up 4 for her last efforts there. And then Kentucky 92, really narrowing that gap there.
Yeah, this is huge. We're under 3 minutes left to play in the first half of this 60-minute game. 89-92 with Kentucky in the lead, and some huge strides made by Sass.
For those following at home, as you will know, this is the closest Saskatchewan's had in terms of a point differential.
Yeah, both teams winless thus far coming into this game, looking for a W.
And there's that spirit that we've been seeing from Bambi Thumper. She's so much fun to watch. Her defensive line helping her get through, though. They've got that play down pat. Abolisher trying to slow her down. Melcree getting in the way.
Really from out of nowhere. That was great attack by Melcree. Forcing the call by Bambi. She got her 5. She got a 5.
Oh, I barely even noticed Melcree had the star on her head that time. Just so used to seeing her blocking. But, of course, using those skills to come out as a very effective jammer. And that's what you're looking for in a relief jammer as well. You want someone who's able to, okay, if they don't get lead, they're able to really put the pressure on the other jammer.
And somebody who jams in a very different way is going to, you know, if you have a defense that's used to dealing with the jammers that are out there, having a very different jammer can really throw a monkey wrench.
Yes, it's nice to have that variety so they don't keep expecting it.
Yeah. Well, there's 201.
That's curb stomping Colshaw once again. Abolisher, as always, coming up right to the forefront of the pack there. And maybe I was joking when I said that the speed wasn't their advantage, because it's looking like it's really working today.
Yeah, it sure was.
Saskatchewan
really outdistancing Rocky on that attack.
So there's a point difference of 4 right now. 97 for Kentucky, 93 for Saskatchewan. And there will definitely be another jam here.
Oh, yeah.
Before the half.
Things are running fast enough. There might be 2. Who knows? Another very tight, slow start.
Seeing really great teamwork here from Holly Double Thumper and Nemesis.
Track cut being assessed to Sass.
Nikki Fury, she's taken a few penalties so far this game. Oh. And
nope,
okay, she's got lead. There was a little bit of confusion there. That's what the crowd reaction was.
I was wondering what that was, but looked legal to me.
Oh, big hit on Terralizer.
Probably a low block.
Yeah, gets the penalty call. We are now filling up the penalty box there as Saskatchewan, all green. Holly Double Thumper and Nemesis, the only ones left. Try to fend for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, it makes quick work of the abbreviated defense.
Nikki Fury trying to use Holly Double Thumper for an assist there.
Period clock is dead at this point. We're running this one out to its natural conclusion.
All right, so Nikki Fury threw on her initial, but of course Kentucky still racking up the points. And that was a really great effort there by Kentucky.
Yeah, great way to go into the half with a 14-point jam. Brings us to 93-111.
It's been a very exciting first half of the game. We will be back with more in just a moment. We'll be muting the mics so that you won't have to hear us this whole time, but please don't go anywhere. This is the New England Roller Derby Report.
All right, we are go here. Second half of this Kentucky-Saskatchewan bout. Pretty exciting stuff in the first half. Sask put together a lead for a while. Kentucky crawled their way back and now have assembled this 18-point lead, largely courtesy of the last 14 points in that last jam by Rexy Dangerfield.
It's just been incredible seeing these two teams that have come up against very stiff competition this entire tournament, now having a real chance at a really good matchup to try and test everything that they've learned so far.
Sure.
And we're seeing that growth on both of the defensive lines. Very impressed by Kentucky's efforts in the first half. Of course, they're sitting in the lead right now, and Saskatchewan's lines have also really solidified, and a lot of good communication happening there.
Yeah, both teams definitely eager for that win. It will be the last appearance for both these teams this weekend in the first of our full-length games.
And no matter what, Team Saskatchewan is leaving with just so many great memories. One of the things I mentioned in the first half was Gotham, our youngest skater, actually. First time in the United States.
Wow.
And she collects a concussion. Probably not what she wanted to go home with, but she actually brought her helmet because, of course, when you get a hard hit on your helmet, you can't wear that helmet again.
Right.
The helmet's retired.
Yeah, just like biking. Sure,
exactly. So what we did as a team is we brought our helmet here with a gold Sharpie and a silver Sharpie. And not only did the team sign it, but some of Gotham's favorite skaters here at the tournament signed it for her. And so she gets to leave with actually a really special gift from Battle of the All-Stars.
Yeah, yeah. Remembered to the time that safety equipment saved your life. So that's good.
Yes, exactly. And I do believe now might be a good time if we want to share some stories of home.
Well, you know, I'm gonna beg off on telling stories about Kentucky here because obviously that's not my milieu. But please tell me a little bit about the Great White North.
So Mo Chismo, who is sitting right beside me, we called the first venue game here.
Yes.
And we got talking about a sweater I was wearing, had a nice polar bear on it. Well, as it turns out, I've been asked a couple times if Saskatchewan is the home of the polar bears in Canada. Sadly, we are not, but our neighbors to the east, Manitoba, actually, they're the polar bear capital of the world.
Got that big coastline, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Churchill is the center point there. And there's a couple fun facts about Churchill. The first being that when it's Halloween, you are not allowed to dress up like a polar bear. It's a safety issue, okay?
I can see how that would work, yeah.
It's a big problem. And then the other fun fact about Churchill is that everyone has to leave their car doors unlocked because
Why is that
is a way for you to escape if there's a polar bear in your path. you can hop into a car. Bears obviously can't get in.
Right. Do not know how to use keyless entry systems.
No.
Stupid bears.
Not quite. But yeah, it's a real thing, and so that's a little bit of taste of life in Canada.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah. I've seen the videos of the polar bears being tranquilized and airlifted out of Churchill, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Churchill, Manitoba.
And that's just kind of a hilarious thing to watch. I mean, maybe a little disruptive for the bear. Sorry, guys, but at least they're getting out alive. And I've never ridden a helicopter, so they have that going on.
Yeah. There you go. In Saskatchewan, though, we have plenty of it's a really great hunting province, actually. Got lots of great deer and a lot of American tourists coming to our prairie province for some great hunting. In fact, I do believe it was the North Carolina coach who made friends with Terralizer here, who she hunts.
Okay.
And so the two of them have been swapping some hunting photos.
All right.
You can make friends with anyone wherever you go here in
That's the joy of roller derby, right? Absolutely. I have friends all over the country who are, almost as obnoxious as I am, announcers. And, I know that I can go most anywhere in this great country and really all over the world. And I have friends wherever I go. All right, back to the action here. Like we said, 93 to 111. There's the whistle to – there's the 5-second call.
And speaking of Terralizer, she's starting this half in the box here. She is standing, though.
Yeah.
So she'll be coming out real soon.
I did look at the penalty situation. Not a ton – less penalties than we would have thought. Nobody's got more than 3.
Oh, and looks like Kentucky out with a very solid lead.
That's Rocky Floor.
I love that name.
And she's made her way around here. Sask is, there she goes, she's through. Sask is putting the pressure on. Coleshaw forcing her to call it.
And it looks like Saskatchewan might have had a little taste of their own medicine there. Rocky Floor putting that pressure kind of in the middle to the inside, clearing that nice outside lane for her to hop right through and collect those points.
Well, you know, you're talking about learning. If that wasn't a tool in their playbook, now it is.
And we have Nikki Fury on the line. She's one of Team Saskatchewan's main jammers. She came here knowing she would be jamming. A couple other players getting a bit of a surprise getting put out on the line there.
Bambi in black for Kentucky.
Oh, and she didn't get to do her signature
hop off
running.
that line,
yeah,
yeah.
but she's still so fast putting the pressure on. Gets by Holly Double Thumper.
Yeah, nice thumper versus thumper action there.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Thumper coming around now, slices to the outside, but they catch her this time.
Getting a nice assist off of one of the blockers there.
And she calls it after grabbing her four. Four clean, brings him to 119.
Of course, if they keep that up, this is the beauty of roller derby. People sometimes, when I explain to them that you collect 4 points or 5 points, okay, well, that doesn't sound too bad. And you're like, no, you can really rack them up real quick. So
it's not like football where it's only happening once or twice a half. Those 4 points are happening every play.
All right, Melcree taking the line here for the third time this bout.
You're saying that's not her usual position, right?
Not at all. She is a fierce and wonderful blocker.
You'd think she was born to it. That was a great attack off the line by Melcree, getting the jump on Jen Furno.
Well, I shouldn't say that this is not her natural position. I just know that she has taken more to blocking, and she's being used way more as a blocker on Team Saskatchewan.
Okay, that's fair.
But because of her varied play experience, right, hopping from team to team or tournament to tournament, she just gets thrown into everything.
And where is she from? Is that Saskatoon?
Actually, yes. Well, this is where I'm saying she's actually with Meridian Roller Derby League. That's out of Lloydminster.
Okay.
All right, Curb, Stomp, and Coleshaw on the line there for Saskatchewan. It's sometimes difficult to see from our vantage point.
Tough angle here at the first turn. So we apologize to those of you listening who were not given great info to.
Pterodactyl.
Rexy Dangerfield is out in front, sorry.
No, that's correct there.
Rexy forced to call it off. Great pressure by Curb there. She hustles her way around and forces the call. 0 points.
And so what she could have done in that case is try to get through the Saskatchewan line because they were at the disadvantage there being at the back of the pack.
Right.
So she could have gone through and then hit her own teammates, which would have given her the points. But then, of course, Curb would have also had the advantage. She was right on her heels. She could have gone through her own team quick and easy and possibly got through the Kentucky
could have
line.
switched to defense and held back Rexy. Number of options there.
All right, Nikki Fury out for the lead. That's got to feel good. She's been held back quite a few times as a jammer.
First lead jam in the half for them. Rocky Floor got the star off, but her pivot's off to the box. She's not going to be able to transfer.
Bumped out by Abolisher there. Kentucky doing a great job scrambling up those blockers, but Rocky Floor is still not through her initial there. Nikki Fury picking up 5
with 5,
points.
yeah. And that's the first points this half for Saskatchewan, I believe.
This is the first time that Team Sask has been above the century mark in any game this weekend.
And you might have heard the house caller say it, but I'm very excited to say it. This is the first time Saskatchewan has passed the century mark here at Battle of the All-Stars, and that's got to feel good. Nikki Fury taking them across the line. Kentucky 120, Saskatchewan 107.
Well, 13-point jam is a pretty big jump for them. Only 13 points back now from Kentucky.
All right, Melcree taking the line as a jammer. Oh, I know I'm going to get it if she tells me, you know, I jammed for many, many years.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I know that Team New York is listening to my calls there as they're reviewing the games. Got to be careful what I say.
Exactly. Either way, Melcree doing a really powerful job.
But there's Bambi.
Yeah, that Bambi thumper. I love her style. She's just got so much grace and so much energy.
On the inside line there. My goodness. Great job towing that line. Picking up a quick 5 by Bambi Thumper.
Mallory following her, though, on that inside line.
Killed a wabbit. That's what she's singing right now.
And Bambi, looks like it's scoreless on that last strip
On
through
the
the
last,
pack,
yeah.
but Kentucky did clock a few more points there.
They got 5 already.
All right, here we see the instant replay of that moment right through the inside line. Loch Ness Monster's not going to like that. She doesn't like when anyone gets by her line, but hey.
Well, hey.
Bambi Thumper makes it look so easy. All right, we have an official review called.
Try to get some information. That is being called by Kentucky.
They have breakfast burritos. And
They might have some questions about the points scored at the end of that jam. It
Yeah.
looked really close. I couldn't tell from my angle if Bambi had passed, if her hips had passed the rearmost blocker. But there could definitely be some doubt there on Kentucky's part. Well, that's speculation on my part. As we get more information, we'll let you know.
In the meantime, our in-house announcer's talking about food. That's
Right.
nothing new.
Yeah, well, we've all been enjoying the food trucks here.
Oh,
and we want to
yeah.
thank Bucksmont Roller Dolls for hosting us here at Inline 309. We always have a great time here at Battle of the All-Stars. This is your first year here. I've been here for the last 3, and it's a blast. It's always a good time, always a good group, and the host league is just super friendly, super helpful, and they run a super smooth tournament.
Yes, I've been very impressed. This facility in itself is impressive. We don't have something like this at home, so to have an inline skating place available
Right.
is just great.
I mean, once the lakes thaw out of the spring, where do you guys skate?
Nice, Mo. Good call. We do actually skate in, during the summer, we skate in curling rinks that don't have any
all
ice.
right. Well, there you go. I was right.
We have some information on the official review coming to Mo and I here at the broadcast desk.
As I suspected, they were looking for points on that final pass. It was Kentucky's contention that Bambi had passed somebody. The refs disagreed, and they will lose their review.
All right.
Rexy Dangerfield for Kentucky makes quick work of that pack. She's through for lead.
Meanwhile, in the box, Bellicose Blonde trading places with Holly Double Thumper, who now joins Abolisher and McKillia on the track.
Multiplayer block being assessed to the pivot on Kentucky.
Kentucky really favoring that inside line, partly because Saskatchewan seems to be having some trouble there.
Well, Curb is through at this point. Colshaw is forcing the call, not taking any chances. Rexy calls it pretty early. She already had her 5. Why was she fighting?
So I asked our skaters ahead of this tournament just a couple questions, and one of them is, okay, well, what positions do you play? I know all of them know all the
Sure.
different positions. But Curb's response was jam, 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 jammer. She loves it. And it really is her bread and butter. She does and has been really flexing her muscle as a blocker as well with our development team back home.
All right. Well, back to the action here. We have Generator on the line for Kentucky. Genferno. Sorry, Genferno.
Genferno taking the lead on that one. All right, we're seeing a bit of a switch in momentum here. Nikki Fury needing to get out on that initial so that she can start putting the pressure on. It's going to come down to the defense here.
And Sask really shutting things down up front for Genferno.
And they've managed to slow it down a bit. But Genferno getting by Pterodactyl there. And I'm literally off the edge of my seat here.
She is.
Just
I can
because I'm
vouch.
short and I can't see very well.
Genferno makes another quick 5. And Nikki Fury still wending her way through there. Kentucky recycling over and over, holding her in place.
Saskatchewan not really having much time, or not choosing to rather, hit that offense. Oh, Nikki Fury, she doesn't spin. She was actually in.
Yeah, Generator with a big hit there. She was one of the MVPs yesterday for Kentucky.
Kentucky doing a really great job here, recycling, swallowing up Saskatchewan's jammer. It's not a pretty place. You don't want to be there, but hey, works in Kentucky's favor quite nice.
Yeah. Well, there's another 5 points that's going to put them up to 20, and that will be the biggest. No, not true. 22 points for Sass last half. Biggest jam for Kentucky, however.
Yes, Bellicose Blonde now with the star in hand. Big hit to the outside.
Yeah, nice hit by number 40. That's Carrie Glock, MVP for earlier today for Kentucky.
And Mo, you said it best right at the start of this game. This is a 60-minute bout, so the type of game you're going to be playing is a little different to what we've been seeing. 3 games at 30 minutes apiece, 1 at 40, and now this, a full hour of gameplay.
Jen Furno was just coming right towards the announce booth as she was coming off there. And boy, you could tell the energy she had put forth for this. But what a jam, 30 points.
Stellar jam for Kentucky there. All right, looks like we have a new to this bout jammer
for Kentucky. We'll get that for you in just a moment. Again, I apologize for my angle and inexperience with this team.
All right, there's a timeout called for Team Saskatchewan. I wonder why. That was a heck of a jam out there.
Well, they have all their timeouts and their review still in their pocket, so it does not hurt to slow things down and reassess in a situation, especially after a 30-point jam against you.
Exactly. There's still 20 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game, so a chance to cool down. And one of the things they're doing right now is just reconnecting as a team out there on the bench. The same, obviously, for Kentucky. The coach having conversations with different players, some high fives going around, just general good vibes.
Yeah, they got to be feeling good right now. Absolutely.
And Sisu, provider of all those fantastic mouth guards.
Also, after checking out all our vendors after games, stay tuned up next. Louisiana.
And for those watching at home, we're really glad that you're joining us. No, there are definitely eyes in Canada watching right now.
And we definitely want to thank the New England Derby Report for putting this out there. It's a free watch for everybody. It's a lot of great derby that you're getting to see for no cost. And, thank you, New England Derby Report. Back to the action. 85 is Bunny.
All right, so it's a power jam. Oh, no, it's not.
Oh. No call on that.
Curb coming up against a lot of strong hits there by the blockers. Fighting through.
Yeah, Curb doing yeoman's work here for Sask. Really, she's jamming almost 50%.
Yeah, and her stamina right now is just very impressive given the amount of energy being exerted right now. Kentucky doing a great job putting some fresh legs out there, of course, with Bunny.
Yeah, Bunny is not Thumper. Don't get it twisted. Don't jump to conclusions.
Oh, I like that. All right. Saskatchewan gets through on her initial trip through the pack.
She had the star off, but did not end up passing it. Now Bunny's coming around the outside. Scott free there to be it.
Oh.
Doesn't even get up to Scott. Pile up. And Bunny's going to call it.
That was a big hit against Curb there at the end of the bout. Unslayable gets a low block call assessed for that hit.
Yeah, I think she got the low block, which knocked down Curb, which in turn knocked down Bunny. But I don't think she would get the penalty on that because there's no error. I mean, she was reacting to another block.
It was natural gameplay. It was unavoidable.
Right. Unavoidable contact.
All right, Melcree here. Oh, and we have an official timeout.
Well, it might be about that series of events. I'm not sure.
We've had some really interesting moments in this tournament. Confusing moments sometimes, but so many times to see things that we don't normally see, in case books rather, or in the rule book, because this is real life.
Yeah,
and
for
things
sure.
happen.
And, I was hearing some of the announcers talk about this earlier, and you have a real mix of refs here in terms of very experienced guys. I'm looking at the back of William Skatespear from Gotham right now, who's probably reffed as many as anybody out there. And you have some people who are pretty new to it, relatively new, and so it's learning for them too.
Exactly. It's really great to get this breadth of experience. You're seeing highly skilled skaters, different gameplay, and Melcree taking it right off the top. Literally running through.
Well, it was a wide open field for her. Abbreviated defense, only 2 black jerseys out there.
But now, can she take advantage of it?
Yeah, Rocky is right behind her.
Yeah, Rocky comes up against that wall. Ooh, big hit on Melcree there on turn 3.
But they're going to play it now. Rocky's in the mix. Mallory's out just barely in front of her. So a net of 0 points on either side as they both score 4.
Little jammer on jammer action there.
Yeah.
I know Malcree loves to combine that jammer and blocker experience.
Defensive offense. That might have been a missed call. She called it, hit the back of the pack, and went down. Yep. Luckily, no points scored on either side. Luckily, I should say, for Mallory.
No better way to do it. 4-4 on that jam. 167 Kentucky, 111 Saskatchewan.
All right, we've got Thumper on the line, fast and furious. I'll just add some adjectives to her name here. Against Nikki Fury.
All right. We've seen this matchup quite a few times here. That's kind of ready for Bambi there, not giving her the runway necessary to get the speed going that she generally shows off the line.
Although she's so fast. Oh, big bump there by Abolisher.
Nice hit. Now Thumper around the outside, no lane there.
Oh, good. Unique work there by Bellicose Blonde and Makilia.
Oh,
big
what a hit
by Bellicose Blonde. She was our MVP for the second bout of the tournament, and that's why she puts the heat on.
Yeah,
now
Thumper was there and got knocked out. Big hit.
Nikki Fury still struggling at the back of the pack there. She's
Yeah,
got that fire in her eyes.
Both jammers really trying to find their way out of a tight, roiling defense.
All right,
Bambi,
lead assessed to Thumper, but wow, did they ever hold those jammers. That was a 55-second hold.
Yep, and Fury is out right behind her. So I think even after all that, Bambi is not going to get much of a chance to score.
Unless she's confident that she's going to get by. Oh, big hit by Scott Free.
Called it a little late, but she got a single point unreturned by Sask.
All right, a timeout called for Kentucky here. Oh, it looks like it was just a little equipment malfunction there on number 19 from Kentucky, Michonne Unslayable.
MVP, first MVP on Thursday for Kentucky.
Bellicose Blonde is one of those players whose love of derby has really transcended, I don't even know how to explain it.
Her free time?
Yeah, well that, but her family life even, I don't know. Her daughter also plays roller derby. Her name is Miss Scusi. And it is, a little play on the Italian. Yeah. So, we understand that Miss Scusi is watching from home.
Great.
Along with Coach Vic Vega, who is Bellicose Blonde's husband.
Ah, there we go.
So really, all in the family.
And we're going to interview them on
Shout out to Saskatchewan then. Saskatoon?
Well, Saskatoon's one of the cities where our skaters are from. But
I was wondering if they were from there.
No, they're from Swift Current, actually.
Swift Current.
We have other players, obviously, from Lloydminster, from Weyburn, Estevan, and the city of Regina.
Kentucky includes representation from Derby City, Black and Bluegrass, Vet City, the Roller Girls of Central Kentucky, Western Kentucky Rock and Rollers, and that is all, I believe. All right, back to the action.
And Kentucky out with lead. Curb Stomp and Colshaw looking to get by. Does so really quickly. That was great.
Rexy's already out there, I should say.
Number 11, Sam on Kentucky. That was great. Just a big smile as she gets knocked to the outside.
And the penalty box clears at the very end of that.
All right, we're finally going to see, finally going to see some full strength jams here from both teams.
Coming into the final quarter of this game. 111 to 168 with Kentucky in the lead.
Saskatchewan's going to need to stay out of that box. They're going to need their defense, especially if they're unable to get those leads right away.
Yeah, this half has been all about Kentucky getting the leads. They've only missed lead twice thus far. Much more one-sided than the first half, where it was 12 to 10 in terms of leads.
Yeah, Malcree weaving her way through, trying to get some help there from Scott Free. Of course, they need to keep their eyes on the upcoming jammer, and
Jenferno
working on her
Makilia
with a big hit there on the outside. Oh,
Gianferno, it looks like she's having a little
Yeah, she.
skate issue there.
That's
right?
her toe stop there. It looks like it was pushed in a bit.
Yeah.
So it's not quite what she's used to. But of course, the toe stop, not a safety feature. You can't actually skate without them.
For years, toe stops were almost you didn't see them on the track. Obviously, since then, toe stop walking has gotten to be a much bigger part of the game.
Much bigger. All right, 4 points for Kentucky there. They're putting the fire on. You know, they took that halftime to reconnect and figure things out here.
Well, they have, like I said, been very one-sided in terms of getting lead jam. They've had one huge jam thus far. That was Gianferno with a 30-point jam. And that is Bunny coming back for her second appearance this half. Maybe the reserve jammer, but Coleshaw is your lead jammer.
Skating around there. Bunny getting caught up on Block Nest Monster there.
And she springs free.
Oh, bit of a trip there on Block Nest Monster.
And the pack had picked up for a second, but now they're coalescing in expectation of Bunny getting in there.
All right, so Curb counting on her blockers now to hold so she can make it through for a few more points.
Great offense by Block Nest Monster, just busted up that Kentucky wall.
Holly double thumper saying, nuh-uh, not lane one, I'll tell you.
And there is Bunny's second pass. No, first pass, my bad.
And Kerr being told to call it.
She does so.
But we're not sure if that was called in time.
Now 2 more points picked up by Kentucky.
Saskatchewan's referee has 2 up there.
11 points for Team Sask.
11-point total. Good jam for Curb.
176 to 122.
I know she's feeling it out there. She's been giving so much energy this bout.
Well, you know, she, as I said, has been on the rotation almost every other jam here. Very, very heavy duty for her.
Now Gotham, the player who was the skater who's unable to be in this game, she was one of the jammers for Team Saskatchewan as well.
Terra lads are not on the track in time, so Saskatchewan will be skating down 1 skater. And Thumper is your lead, but not the jammer in the lead right now as Nikki Fury charges forward.
And that can definitely be a win for Nikki Fury there, because anytime this matchup has been on the track this bout, Thumper has gotten out ahead and way ahead.
Yeah.
That's very good. And Nikki Fury left the track with a satisfied look.
Yeah, that was great job by Nikki Fury. Gianferno backlining up, and talk about doing a lot of jammer duty this half.
Yes.
Gianferno has been out there quite a bit for Kentucky. Except that that's Rocky,
Yes.
not Gianferno.
The in-house announcers have a bit of they do have a better vantage view for the for that. So Rocky Fleur doing the helmet cover stash. Try to catch up to Malkry there, who's going fast. Oh, big hit by Kentucky there.
Went down a little hard, might stop play.
Nope,
she's gonna get up.
Nodding her head. She's
just needed a second.
Yeah, needed a breath.
Insubordination being called. I don't know what that was for. I guess there was a prior penalty she didn't exit in time for.
All right, that is going to be...
That's a full 60 seconds against Sass right now.
Yeah, it's very advantageous for Kentucky.
So I don't think we have a lead jammer now. Well, that didn't look like a full minute to me, so not quite sure what the call ended up being.
But she was released by an official there in the penalty box, and she did say, is that two?
Right. And I definitely saw the insubordination signal, right?
Yes.
Not sure what happened. Well, regardless, she's back on the track now, and she put up 4 points, and we're going for the full 2.
Look at that. Only in roller derby do you get penalties like that and then come out and keep scoring.
Well, that's
Well, not
true.
only in roller derby,
Yeah.
but you see it so quickly in one jam, right, in one
Yep.
play.
Period clock just about out. There's the whistle.
And not period clock, the jam clock.
That's
Yes,
what I meant.
okay.
Yep, sorry.
Good. I was like, what? We're already done the game? That has happened to me a few times, though, especially with the abbreviated games.
Yeah.
And sometimes just being so into the moment here because it's so much fun watching all these teams.
Matchup after matchup here. All right, the whistle will blow with just about 9 minutes left to play. That's your period clock. Coleshaw out there for Sask.
And obviously, whatever happened with Melcree has been sorted out.
Yeah.
The penalty box is completely cleared at the moment. Curb not getting lead, but out fast.
Yeah, Jen Furno working her way around.
And Saskatchewan trying to get out of corner 2 there, which has been very good for Kentucky.
Good pressure by Sass. Yeah, I think they're conferring the point score there. Just 1 point picked up.
But every point counts.
Yeah, that's true right now. Kentucky has put together something of a bigger lead.
Yes, they have. Yeah. Especially from what we saw in the first half.
Yeah, very close in the first half.
We have an official timeout.
All right, an official timeout here. Mo, we just have so much time to talk.
We do, which is great. It's great that you are such good company to help us cover this
Well,
here.
thank you so much.
So, on average, how long are the skaters up in Sask driving, I should say, to skate? Because it seems like a huge geographic area.
Yes, so I've been talking about this all tournament because I'm impressed by it. I don't have to drive these distances.
Right.
But with Team Saskatchewan, what they do is they rotate where their practices are to try to give some people a bit of relief. But the max distance someone has to drive to these points. It's about 6 hours.
Yowza.
And that's in good conditions, of course.
Right.
So sometimes
well,
you're
it's been
coming
a
up
rough
against
winter, I'm sure.
storms, but these ladies still do it. Even driving out to the airport to fly out here, there's freezing rain, and so these women are
Such
so
dedication.
dedicated.
Yeah. Well, back to the action here. We have excuse me. No, I'm sorry. The lead jammer is not the jammer in the lead right now. I was a little confused. Nikki Fury was the lead jammer.
Yeah. No points scored there.
Yeah, she calls it off.
And while many people at home know the rules of roller derby very well, the way that works, though, is lead jammer is assessed with who gets through the pack past the foremost blocker first.
Right.
But that doesn't mean
But first clean. You have to get through cleanly.
Yeah.
If any of the blockers are out of bounds or down when you pass them, you'll hear us say no pass, no penalty. Well, y'all know this, but still worth reviewing.
And of course, if those blockers are effective, they can catch up to you. And so even though you have lead, it does not mean you're out in front.
That's true. We've seen that a couple of times here. Thumper is being pulled back right now.
So was McKillia. So doesn't look like that gave Saskatchewan an advantage, but McKillia out and running now. Skating, obviously.
Well.
Running on skates.
Skating faster than I could run. How about that? Oh, what a
that
move
was
by Bambi
beautiful.
there. Little figure skate action there as she came into the back of that pack.
Yeah, she did such a tight little pirouette there. Even Bellicose Blonde was left a little shook up there. We have an instant replay of that moment. There you go.
Very nice, yeah, avoiding that, what might have been a crushing hit.
She almost like scissors her legs so that they're nice and tight together and then able to transition so quickly.
126 to 197 with Kentucky on top. Coleshaw back for Sass jamming.
And she's looking to cut through her favorite place there on the inside of that corner. That has been one of the strongest places on the track for Curb.
Jen Furno has made her way out as well at this point. But curb stop, and already working on her scoring pass.
Ooh.
And she's going to call it. She gets a little tripped up, some friendly fight. Who's she standing over? I can't see for all the legs.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Yeah, it was a bit of a funny moment there between the teams. Little split leg action that you'd see in slapstick comedy. But despite all the laughs, it did force her to call the
Well,
jam.
yeah. And no penalty assessed for that. That was a unavoidable contact.
Yeah,
I
just one of
suppose.
those. Okay, someone fell down.
Yep.
Oh, although there is a
Official timeout. We have seen more of these per capita being minute here, I don't know, than really any other game that I've been involved in and any other one that I've watched.
So if anyone's keeping track at home, if you're like some of the people I know who have been watching Derby all day,
Yep.
that is going to bump some of those other games later tonight
Yeah.
a little later. So
And we are running a little late as it is. I see, yeah, Genferno's headed to the box on a penalty.
So we will have a power jam start then for Nikki Fury.
What was the penalty?
I did not see the call on that. I wonder if it had to do, though, with that
That
commotion
kerfuffle
happened
over
in
on
the corner.
the other, yeah.
Of course, that's way across the track.
Hardest spot for us to
furthest
see.
distance. All right, you can see the blockers on the track right now conferring with each other, trying to come up with a good plan, because a great power start not only comes down to your jammer knowing what they're doing, of course, but your blockers being set up in the right place.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, in the wrong situation, your blockers get in the way. That's why we see these alleyways being formed, or hallways, or whatever you want to call them.
Oh, personally, there's nothing worse than your own blockers being your
Worst enemy.
your worst enemy.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me, I need to get through here.
Well, that's the birth of the passive offense, I suppose. It's just
Yes.
avoiding any contact like that.
So don't forget, we have another game coming up between Louisiana and Kansas. It's sure to be a treat. So stick
All
around.
right. Looks like we're ready to get back into the gameplay now.
And as we continue
Oh,
this contest,
very cool
wow,
play. I was wondering if they were going to do that. So what happens is at the start of the jam, there's no direction of pack.
Right.
So if your blockers start going clockwise, that's totally legal. That's setting the direction of the pack, and so a no pack can be created. Although, unfortunately, now we're just switching jammers here.
Right.
Nikki Fury in the box. And
Jennifer is sprung, and she has potential to get lead here.
Yep. Lead still up for grabs. And she gets it.
There we are.
Pterodactyl taking a bit of a spill there on the corner, although Nikki Fury out really quickly.
Yeah, abbreviated sentence there. Genferno hadn't even stood when she was put into the box.
All right, so we'll see how this works here, because Nikki Fury's coming up on her first scoring trip through the pack, and she's working her way through. Oh, getting
Whole lot of
big knockout there by
yeah.
Kentucky.
That's
Number 8 there, or 8-0.
is that Barbara
Oh,
Fett?
no, that's Silver Rose.
Oh, we're in a weird order on that list. Nice hit by Silver Rose.
All right. Points, though, for both teams on that jam. 3 for Saskatchewan on the last trip, and 4 for Kentucky. Just 3.5 minutes left.
Kentucky breaking the double C there.
Coming up next is Louisiana against Kansas.
Yep.
That should be a really fun matchup. Another good match of skill level, I do believe,
Yeah, I
as
think
well.
so. I think that'll be solid.
And I don't know about you, Mo, but I really enjoy seeing those close bouts, right?
Yo, absolutely.
Get the blood flowing a little bit. You're actually on the edge of your seat.
Or standing up and calling it,
Yeah.
depending. Rexy Danger for Kentucky is lost in this pack.
All right,
Terrorizer, yep.
yeah, putting up a really strong front there.
Valkyrie's in the mix as well.
Makilia, though, hung up on the back, trying to weave her way through Kentucky, just being really fast with switching positions as blockers there.
And Rexy Dangerfield does get your lead.
Heck has stretched out in that back stretch straight away.
All right. Melkery knocking out the jammer there, dragging her back, but so is McKillia.
Yeah. Each with one blocker in the box here.
A penalty assessed to,
The pivot, Kentucky's pivot.
there we go. And 5 points for number 22 there, Rexy
And
Dangerfield.
just a rash of penalties right now. I heard a failure to reform being called. And there's no identifiable pack on the track right now.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, and there's a big skate race happening. McKillia
Yeah.
getting by.
Now they're packing up a little bit, but things were very chaotic for that jam.
McKillia actually getting points on that. I shouldn't say actually. Apparently, I said that in one of my other games, and I wasn't. It's not like I'm surprised that she's getting points, but
Right.
sometimes I'm surprised because you hear the whistle.
Well, yeah, despite the action that you're seeing,
Yeah.
which can be deceiving.
McKillia doing a great job trying out this new position, of course. And Mo, we're talking about people who are learning new roles here in this tournament. That is very well me as well. This has been absolutely a pleasure to work with. Talent
Absolutely.
I know and I recognize. It's been a really great pleasure working with you.
Well, thank you very much. We've had a couple of calls together, and they've both been absolutely fabulous. We are at a minute 9, a timeout, official timeout in play right now, which again we've seen a few of, kind of pushing this game past its envelope, its time envelope at least.
We're seeing a lot of it in the second half, and as a skater, that also toys with your mental game quite a bit,
Yeah.
because you're getting this rush, you're getting this vibe, and stop. Getting this rush, and
I
stop.
can see how that would be
and stop.
frustrating and maybe a
So-
little, backfooting, sure.
And then on other times, it can work well. Curb, obviously using that little bit of breathing time to find her feet again.
Rocky still trying to find her way out.
Big hit by Scott Free. And another big hit by Curb stomping Coleshaw. 5 points for Curb.
Good jam to shake things out for Curb here. Potentially the last one, depending on how things go. Right now, Rocky still working on it.
Oh, yeah, that's some good blocking there by Kentucky. Curb literally getting caught up on her
Yeah.
side there.
Yeah, if Curb can keep piling on points like this, that's great. A great finish to a hard-fought game for Sass.
It always feels nice to have that final bout finish that way,
Sure.
no matter where you are in the standings for the game.
And it looks like Sass is going to run this.
Yeah, more derby, right? If there was a motto.
Yeah, well, they
More
could
derby, the better.
have called it and potentially called a timeout, but the period clock is out now.
And that is the jam as called by Curb.
And unofficial final is 151 to 210 with Kentucky in the lead. We're going to figure out who the MVPs are, and we'll get right back to you in a couple of minutes with a couple of interviews. Thanks so much for listening and putting up with me. I'm Mo Cheesemo.
I'm Death Nella, and we'll be right back.
All right, I'm Mo Chismo. I'm here with Jen Furno. You guys just fought a hard-fought game. You came away with the win at the end there. Any, just quick thoughts on this game?
That was really hard, and it hurt. That's it.
Good answer. That is a good answer. No, very physical game. You guys fought really hard. And I know you want to get out of here. I'm going to give you your MVP certificate, Jen Furno MVP for this game. One last question. Have you seen Star Wars?
Yes.
And Porgs, yes or no?
No.
All right, we got one no vote for Porgs, one no vote for cuteness and all that's good in this world from Jen Furno. Jen Furno, thanks so much, and congratulations on a great weekend.
Thank you, too.
Welcome back to Battle of the All-Stars. I'm Dethnella, very happy to be joined by Team Saskatchewan's MVP, Scott Free. And what a pleasure it has been, not only calling the games, but getting to watch you. And this game in particular, wow, you just had your signature style going on out there. Big hits, you were taking some of them, but you were giving a lot of them. How did it feel?
It was a great game. Our team is really starting to gel. We have quite a few pickups, as a lot of people know, for this game. Even one player that's still in her first year of Derby. So bringing her along and getting her to learn the game, and especially at this level, is an amazing experience for her, but also for myself to see where we need to grow and in what areas we can continue to grow and develop.
Scott Free, you were a major driving force for Team Saskatchewan getting here in the first place. This was something that, of course, no other Canadian team has ever done. So how does it feel to finish this tournament knowing you've done something nobody else has done, and you're coming in away learning so much?
It's pretty exciting to represent not only Saskatchewan but Canada because of being the first ones here. It's definitely one that now that we're here, we know where we want to be and hopefully come back again next year. So, yeah.
Couldn't put it a better way. I personally have seen the growth. People at home have seen the growth. You were talking about gelling with your the other skaters out there. That defensive wall you were putting up, wow, so much incredible skill happening.
Yeah, the more we got more comfortable, the more communication happened, and we were able to stick together better, I feel. And our jammers, we just gave them that little extra help that we needed to get them through the pack. So.
Now, of course, you're skating out here with adults, but you also work a lot with the juniors, and I know that there's a team out there that's been watching you, their coach, with some very proud eyes and really great moments out there.
Yeah, my girls, they're the Gapland Smashers that compete in the JRDA. Last year, we were the first Canadian team to make it to the champs, so we represented there, and hopefully we'll get back there again this year.
And so that's all exciting. It's all on the horizon. And if there's anybody watching back home in Canada, especially in the prairie provinces where Derby just keeps growing, what message would you like to send them?
Just keep developing, keep going out. You know, lots of us haven't been skating that long, and look where we've made it in such a short time. So the more we can bring back from this tournament and continue to develop our province, we'll get stronger. So keep coming out.
Well, congratulations, Scott Free. It's been an honor seeing you out there. It's been an honor being part of Team Saskatchewan as your announcer. And I'm Dethnella. We'll be right back with more Battle of the All-Stars action up next with Tennessee and Louisiana.